were wounded. Joining us now, Ido Aharoni, the Consul General of Israel in New York. John Heilman, Dan Senor are back at the table as well. Good to have you back, sir.
Thank you.
So, is the goal on Israel's part, is the goal a peace supported by both sides?
The goal is to destroy the infrastructure Hamas created in Gaza. They created two systems of strategic caliber. The first is the rocket system, 12,000 rockets. We had to endure 2,000 rockets in the last 2 weeks. I think it's unprecedented in terms of an onslaught on a civilian society in the Western world. The second system that they built is the tunnel system. The tunnel system, we suspect, they have hundreds of tunnels, some of them 1 mile long. They're deep 6 floors down. They penetrate Israel's territory, and the purpose of this is to allow them, to give them the operational capability of sending squads of terrorists into Israel to pop out and attack civilian communities. Only 3 days ago, we averted a catastrophe when 13 of them popped out of the ground near a small kibbutz, threatening to slaughter the entire place.
This is all incredibly important in the grand picture here. But I guess my question is, in the destruction of the infrastructure that you're talking about, is it still possible and a goal on the part of Israel to attain a peace that is agreed upon by Israel and the Palestinians, or is that not possible at this point?
If you're asking about the overall negotiations between Israelis and Palestinians,
is
look,
there any
the conflict we have with Hamas is not a national conflict. This has to be understood. We do have a national conflict, which is territorial in nature, with the Palestinian Authority. And as you know, we negotiated, but with Hamas, just as the Prime Minister mentioned, is the same kind of inter-civilizational clash that you have with Al-Qaeda. They're not interested in compromise. They're not even interested in a Palestinian state. They're interested in our destruction. It is not only our right to defend ourselves, it's actually our duty to defend ourselves.
So, Dan Senor, it sounds like the answer is no.
Well, I think one of the big changing dynamics in the region that gets to what you're talking about the prospect for real peace, is the Arab world is now split on this issue. If you look at the recent conflicts between Israel and Hamas, go back to 2008, 2009, go back to 2012, the Arab world rallied, totally unified, behind Hamas. Now, there's huge division. I mean, you have President Sisi in Egypt, who's been facilitating the ceasefire and is implicitly saying, Israel, keep bombing. And so I guess, Ido, maybe you could talk a little bit about how those relations with the Arab world are impacting things on the ground. Does it put pressure on those who want an end to hostilities to kind of back off?
Look, Hamas, there's no question, Hamas is in a tough position. They lost Syria, which was their #1 backer, the #1 provider of arms and ammunition. They lost the attention of Iran. Iran is now preoccupied with the international community. Of course, they lost their historical ideological patriarchs in Egypt, Islamic Brotherhood. And even within the Palestinian world, the Palestinian Authority is now distancing itself from Hamas. And the reason is because they know that Hamas is wrong. Hamas is wrong attacking innocent people. Hamas is wrong using his own people as human shield. And Hamas is wrong in entering this with no exit strategy.
All right, Ido Aharoni, thank you very much. Come back as we cover this still ahead.
Thank you.
We're going to take a look at how turmoil around the